1202. 40%. Owl mode all products visual matches. He is not a stranger, my heart knows him, he is my greatest love. He is not a stranger. Chapter 1 to 2011 The Lane, the Looks, and the Silence. In the early weeks of the 2011 summer, Ina unexpectedly had to leave the neighboring village and return to the place where she grew up. For the first few weeks back, life moved quietly until the day she finally saw Apong. The moment she laid eyes on him, she found herself accidentally staring, completely captivated. He was incredibly handsome, with fair, white skin, naturally red lips, and a pleasant, striking face that instantly stole her heart. Apong was just as deeply drawn to Ina. With her short cropped hair and a fresh, radiant look, she completely captivated him. They never officially labeled themselves as a couple, but a deep, unspoken love pulled them together. The intense feelings brewing between them finally forced Apong's hand, leading him to intentionally lean in for a sweet, stolen first kiss. But instead of bringing them closer, a wall instantly slammed down. Suddenly, Apong began ignoring Ina completely. When they crossed paths in the village lanes, he wouldn't look at her. He would only bump his shoulder hard against hers and keep walking, leaving Ina with a breaking heart and endless questions. Desperate to break his agonizing silence, Ina tried everything. She pretended she had been in an accident and lost her memories of him, hoping it would force a reaction. When that failed, she walked straight to his house, speaking loudly to herself right outside his window just so he would hear her voice. Still, Apong stayed hidden behind his silence. The breakthrough happened the next day. Ina spotted Apong struggling to lift a heavy bucket of water. She walked straight up to him, looked him in the eye, and asked, "Are you tired already?" "No," Apong answered shortly. Ina replied, "Because you keep running into my mind every single day." The ice finally broke into tentative smiles, but the peace was short-lived. Right before Ina left the village that year, they crossed paths one last time inside the local computer shop. Apong was there waiting for his turn to play video games. While he was laughing and playing jokes with the other kids, he strictly exempted Ina, choosing to ignore her yet again. Ina departed the village with a heavy, unresolved silence ringing in her ears. Chapter 2, 2012 to 2023 The Passing Years. In 2012, Ina returned to the village for a brief family visit. Her sister offhandedly mentioned that Apong had been actively looking for her. A tiny flicker of hope sparked in Ina's chest, but she quickly brushed it away with deep doubt. After how cruelly he had treated her, she couldn't bring herself to believe he truly cared. Their paths crossed accidentally in 2013. Neither of them spoke. They just stood there, staring at each other in a heavy, loaded silence. Looking at him, Ina's only concrete thought was, "Oh, he became very tall." Years rolled by in complete radio silence, until a random night in 2017. Ina was working in Mandaluyong in the Philippines, when her phone lit up with a surprise message from Apong. It had been years since they last spoke, while most of the conversation faded from memory over time. One specific exchange stuck with her. Seeing how late it was, Ina asked him, "Why? Are you still awake?" Apong replied that he was up late cooking for a feeding program. Ina recalled staring at her phone screen, completely baffled by his unexpected reply, and thought to herself, "Weird." Following that strange midnight exchange, another decade slipped away. Then, in September 2023, Ina's phone buzzed with a message from Apong. "Hi." "Yes," Ina replied, later adding her congratulations on his recent graduation. After saying thank you, Apong typed, "Thank you for being a part of my childhood." Ina teased back, "You're making me laugh." "Yes, that's why I gave you my very first kiss, ha ha ha." Apong admitted, "It just brings back happy memories." Curious about his life, Ina asked, "Where are you working now, by the way?" "I'm a factory worker right now, gaining experience so I can go abroad," Apong replied. "Where are you working now?" "Just finished in Qatar, and now I'm here in Dubai," Ina answered, realizing just how far their lives had drifted physically. Chapter 3 to 2024 The Letter and the Song. In 2024, the distance between them began to shrink as Apong reached out with confessions from the past. He confessed to Ina a secret he had kept hidden away for years. He had actually written a letter for her back then. Unable to hand it to her directly, he had left it tucked quietly right in the middle of her door. Along with the letter, Apong admitted that he still vividly remembered their theme song, Porque, the melody Ina used to play out loud to let him hear her feelings back when he was strictly ignoring her. He confessed that despite his cold exterior, during those days, the song had deeply impacted him, and he still considers it to be their true theme song. Chapter 4 to 2026 The Truth Unlocked Now, 15 years after that summer lane. The truth has finally been unlocked. Apong made a deeply emotional confession about the feelings he had locked away for over a decade. He admitted to Ina that trying to ignore her back in 2011 was the hardest thing he had ever done, revealing that he used to cry under his blanket back then because he was breaking apart on the inside every single time he forced himself to walk past her. He then confessed his deepest secret from the missing years. He had spent the last decade quietly stalking Ina's Facebook profile, desperately searching for updates on her life, as Apong admitted that as he watched her build a successful, independent life far away from their childhood village, he had spent years assuming she had already moved on, gotten married, and had a baby. To be continued. If you want to keep